Through the seasons, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. On this path, may I walk through my life. May I in old age, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk, may I walk, may I walk, may I walk. May I walk, may I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace, in joy. May I walk in love. May I walk in gratitude. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace, in stillness. May I walk in forgiveness. May I walk in loving kindness. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk, 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 may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace now. May you walk, always walk in peace. May we walk in peace. May I walk with loving kindness, in love. May you walk in joy, in love. May we walk.
Center for Spiritual Living, and welcome to another glorious Sunday morning. My name is Reverend Chris Alexander. I am the senior minister here at Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, and I am so glad you're here, whether you're joining us here in person or you are online. Is the microphone close enough to my mouth? Is that okay? There we go. Whether you are joining us in person or online, I am so glad that you are here. So first and foremost, if you are here in person, I invite you to silence your cell phones, but don't turn them off. Feel free to get on Facebook or YouTube and put all of your thoughts and your comments in the chat so that you can be a part of the conversation if you so choose. And if you are joining us online, I invite you to say good morning in the chat and tell us how you're doing, what you're up to today on this beautiful, feels a little bit like fall sort of morning. So you may be noticing that I'm sitting down today. I don't know if y'all can tell online, but I am sitting and maybe not quite the normal perky self that I am. So I wanted to let y'all know all is well. However, I am currently hosting two kidney stones who I have named Kevin and Devin, and they are thriving. However, it is causing a little bit of pain for me. So I'm here. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm going to be sitting down and just maybe a little more subdued today. If you so feel like sending me some love and light and prayers for easy passing, that would be lovely. I would greatly appreciate it. So I have a lot of announcements today. Oh, no, before I have announcements, I'd love to welcome you if you are here for the first time. So I know getting to hear about my bodily functions is like your first experience of Sunday morning at Celebration Center. That's not normal. However, we're so glad that you're here and joining us. And so we would love if you would scan the QR code that's next to me right over here. And when you do that, it's going to take you to our form that you can fill out, and so that we know how to support you, how you found us, all of that. And finally, we have an awesome service plan today. I will be speaking. We're talking about finances this whole month. What a lovely subject, right? And we have a special surprise today for the music. Lynn Hollyfield is our music director, and so she is bringing us the music, but she's bringing it to us in pre-recorded videos. So we have Lynn by herself, we have Lynn with some of her friends, we have our choir, we have all angles, we have all kinds of things going on for the music today, so it's very exciting. And then we have Rich Kurashevitz as our practitioner on platform. Yay, Rich! I am so glad that he is here. So now, announcements. Today is the second annual Appreciation Potluck Picnic after the service today at 12:30. So if you are here in person, plan on staying for the potluck. Even if you didn't know about it, even if you didn't bring something, it's okay. Just stay. There's going to be plenty of food for everyone. And if you are online, we are going to be Zooming this because we are going to be appreciating everyone in this whole year and how amazing Celebration Center is doing. And so we invite you to grab your own food and join us on Zoom at 12:30 so that you can be a part of the celebration. We also, I had talked about the 40-day prosperity series and how it was going to start last Monday. That is when Kevin decided to rear his ugly little head. So we have postponed it, and it is going to be beginning tomorrow instead. So that 40-day prosperity series beginning tomorrow, Monday evening from 6:30 to 8 on Zoom. It's going to go through October 31st, and we are going to be doing the 40-day prosperity series that John Randolph Price lays out in his book, The Abundance Book. And so you can come tomorrow. You don't need to have the book. You don't need to know anything. We're going to sit down and talk through all of it. Anybody and everybody is welcome. This is just going to be a really cool program that we do together. Also, our Science of Mind 101 and Membership and Spiritual Community class was moved to next Friday, September 23rd from 5:30 to 8:30. So if you are interested in becoming a member, you just want to know more about Science of Mind, you have questions, or you just want a refresher because you've been in Science of Mind for a million years and you've forgotten some of the core concepts, come join us. This is open for anyone and everyone. On Friday, that's on Zoom, 5:30 to 8:30. And then finally, our Unite and Celebrate New Thought Renaissance is coming right up, y'all. It's going to be on October 1st from 1 to 4 p.m. at Unity of Fairfax. This is a partnership that we're doing with Unity of Fairfax and ourselves. And we are going to be having speakers and musicians from all over the area, New Thought musicians and speakers. It's going to be amazing. Our very own Reverend Ryan Alexander is one of the guest speakers, and it's just going to be this really awesome time to come together as a community, to come together with Unity of Fairfax and truly collaborate. All of the proceeds from this event is going to Lutheran Social Services, which, as y'all know, we absolutely love and support the work that they're doing with the Afghani and now Ukrainian refugees. There is also, in conjunction with that, a New Thought Renaissance drum circle the Friday before, Friday, September 30th from 7 to 9. That is a $15 suggested love offering, and that is going to be on Unity of Fairfax's big labyrinth with a bonfire and there's going to be calling in the directions and a medicine wheel and all of this really cool stuff. And that is being led by many drum, what are those? Professionals, amazing people from all over, including our very own Brent Mast and including Leanne Giovelli, Leanne Joelli and Nina Gibson, who were here last week. It's going to be really amazing. So plan to join us, put that on your calendar. And with all of that, we have an opening song from Len.
Good morning, Celebration Center. Here's God is my source. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Ooh, 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 Peace is my source, peace is my power, peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need.
As we enter the sacred time in our service, I invite you to remember our vision as we say it aloud together. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Feel how you are supported by your chair and the ground beneath your feet. I invite you to focus on your heart center, becoming aware of your love light expanding in your chest and radiating out into the world as we breathe together. Each breath has 3 parts: an inhale, a pause, and an exhale. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Take a minute to continue experiencing your light radiating out from your chest. Connect to the love light of our beloved community, those present in the room, online, and watching in the future. I invite you to stay in the sacred space as I read today's reading from 365 Signs of Mind by Ernest Holmes for September 11th. Ask and it shall be given unto you is one of the greatest promises of the ages and has within it the greatest possibility ever experienced by the mind of man. Surely this implies that there is a power that can and will honor our request. Whatever we ask for in the name of reality, that is, in the nature of that which is real, we shall most certainly receive. It is certain, however, that if we ask and have it given unto us, we must first seek and find, knock and have opened. What is this we seek other than our true union with good? Where is the door that must be opened other than our own consciousness? It is the door of acceptance, faith, and confidence. How can we receive that which the mind refuses to entertain? I believe and accept with thanksgiving. Therefore, today I ask and know that I shall receive. I seek and know that I shall find. Today I knock and know it shall be opened unto me. I receive the gift of life in all its fullness. And so we pray. God is all there is, the Alpha and the Omega, the Creator and the creation, all life and everything there is. There is nowhere where God is not, for God is all substance, matter, energy, and light. I am that I am. I am some part of the one life and unified with the one power, presence, and mind. The kingdom of heaven is within as I raise my consciousness to unify with it. I am perfect, whole, and complete. And just as I am perfect, whole, and complete, each and every one is perfect, whole, complete, eternal, and immortal. I declare that our word is divine and creates to manifest our desires in as much as we believe and have faith. I know when we live affirmatively and focus on those things we desire, we cannot but help to manifest those desires according to faith and the law of God and good. For it is God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom of God which is already located within us. I know that the entire universe conspires to manifest our heart's desires, for it is done unto us as we believe, as the universe is good and love. I'm so very grateful for the truth that sets us free, and for a universe of good and love that is manifest throughout all life. I'm so very grateful for the law of good that fulfills all our legitimate desires in accordance to our faith. I'm so very grateful for life and good that are abundantly available and ever present. And I release my word unto the law where it is already known in the mind of God and is assured of fulfillment. This is the word of God. I give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
There is always a light. There is always light. When we are ready to see it. There is always a light. There is always light. When we are ready to be it. To see the light, to be the light, to raise your eyes in the dark night, to climb this hill. Together we will. There is always your light in the dark. When we are ready to see it, there is always your light in the dark. When we are ready to be it, to see the light, to be the light, to raise your eyes in the dark night, to climb this hill. Together we will. Shine your light in the dark. When we are ready to see it. There's always your light in the dark. When we are ready to be it. To see the light, let your bright heart raise your eyes in the dark night. To climb this hill. Together we will be light.
Oh, it's always a good day when we get one Lynn, let alone 6 Lynns, right? Oh, so I have a question for y'all first. So for those of you who were here last week or who heard my talk in the last week, did you gain any information this week as you looked at how you relate to the money in your life? When you're spending it, when it's coming in, when it's going out, when you're paying bills, did you learn anything? I'm getting a lot of blank stares. That's okay. Maybe you learned something online, but I have been very intentional in the way that I spend my money lately and the way that I make decisions about what I'm spending money on. And I have learned a lot about myself. Some things I already knew, some things I'm learning at a deeper level, some things I had no idea, right? But I think that this is kind of this continued evolution of, what is mine to know? What are those beliefs that I have about money? And so that's what we're going to talk about today, is kind of our underlying beliefs about money. But before we do that, I want to talk about a little bit about what money is. Do I? Yes, I do. So we're going to start with a quote. We're going to start with two quotes, actually. The first quote is by Swami Kriyananda. And we actually have that one. And what Swami Kriyananda says is, to attract abundance in your life, see money as a flow of energy, not as a static quantity. See life in the same way, as a flowing river, not as fixed patterns of behavior. Leave your ego on the bank and enter the stream of cosmic awareness. There are no limits to how much of life's abundance can be yours if you will plunge into the divine current and swim there joyously. And so I love this idea that money is not this static entity, right? Our bank accounts are not this static thing. And I think what's so cool about this is that in today's world, in 2022, it's true that money now isn't even like something super tangible, right? Like you can go to the bank and pull cash out if you want, but in general, it's numbers that are housed in computer systems and servers and moving through wires and all of the stuff, that it truly is this flow of just information. It's not even a tangible object anymore. And Dr. Jacinta Paliancana, I actually did practice her name. Hold on. She says, money is like a river. It flows where the conditions are conducive to its flow. And affluence is actually from the Latin verb affluere, to flow abundantly. And so what money is, we talked about how money isn't this static thing. And we talked last week about how money is neutral, right? That it's not positive or negative, but it just simply gives information. It's an indication of energy. And so that's what this is talking about, is that money is just an indication of where the flow is in our lives. And so in the past, I have noticed for myself that when I have a lot of energy flowing out, or when I'm not feeling super stable or super grounded in who I am, that my money often flows on out with that energy as I become kind of ungrounded. And I can see even today that my personal inclination when I feel ungrounded or off kilter is to go shopping. And and I used to have a shopping addiction. It was never bad enough to have massive amounts of credit card debt, probably because by the time that I, decided to have my shopping addiction, I had already accrued some credit card debt and knew better than to pull out more credit cards. And what I found was that it's like trying to fill this hole, right? Like the money's going out, and so I'm trying to fill the hole with stuff. And so what I was noticing this week as I was gathering information about myself and my money and my habits and my beliefs is that I still have that inclination. And in fact, I have to block Amazon on my phone. Otherwise, the first thing I'll do in the morning is just window shop online just to see what Amazon has today. They have everything, by the way, just everything, right? I don't need to look. I can just trust that they have everything, right? And Facebook gets me, right? I go watch all those ads. They have figured me out. I am going to go look at that adorable stuffed animal. I'm going to every time, right? And yet the power lies in noticing that I have this belief, noticing that I have this inclination. And so then instead of it being the subconscious thing, I can be intentional about what I'm doing, and I can say, no, I'm not. I'm going to choose not to look at Amazon and Windows shop before noon, which is what I what I personally choose to do, right? And then by noon, I've gotten up, I've had a latte, I've done my spiritual practice, and all of a sudden I'm grounded and I don't need to anymore. That inclination, that automatic sort of subconscious drive is gone because I've taken the time to ground in myself and to do what I know I need to do. So that was some of the information that I learned this week about how my money flows when I'm not paying attention, right? And I also think it's really interesting to look at what our beliefs about money are, and then how it all can kind of tie together, right? Like I was always taught that money, you have to work hard. You have to work hard for your money. It doesn't grow on trees. There's always another bill to pay, right? Oh, I hate going and getting the mail because there's always another bill to pay in there, right? And so then, even though that isn't necessarily my experience, I then create this lack because I have that belief. And so then I online shop and I'm like, oh, there's always another bill to pay. Maybe that bill is a online shopping bill, but it's still a bill, right? And we all of a sudden are creating sorry, y'all, my brain is only sort of working today. Thank you, Kevin. The environment for the beliefs that I have created. So what are the beliefs that you grew up with around money? Did you grow up hearing, oh, I'm so glad that we have plenty of money to pay all of these bills. Oh, the electricity is on, the water is running. Look at our beautiful home. Yay, mortgage that allows us to have this beautiful home. Did anybody grow up with families that did that? I most certainly did not, right? Or did you grow up with, well, do you have, I heard the big one is, can we stop at McDonald's? Well, do you have McDonald's money, right? Or more money, more problems, right? Have you heard that one? Or money is a necessary evil. We don't really like to deal with it or get our hands dirty, but we have to, right? It doesn't grow on trees. You have to put in your dues. Oh man, I heard that one a lot. And whatever dues I put in, they were not the right ones because there were always more dues to be put in. Money is the root of all evil. And then what's interesting about that one is that money is the root of all evil, right? But then they say, oh, no. It's the love of money is the root of all evil, right? Have you heard in New Thought, have you heard people change it to that? That doesn't really work for me either, because isn't love all that there is? So what's wrong with loving money and loving having enough and loving that flow and that affluence and that abundance? And so I have changed it to the lust of all money, or the lust of money is the root of all evil, because it's not love. I don't think that love is ever the problem, right? It's that lust. It's when we're operating on these subconscious tracks and we're just moving through these ruts and beliefs and things like that we have, that we don't know the cause or why we're doing what we're doing, and we're just operating on our subconscious, just this is the way it's always been and this is the way it's always going to be. That is when all of a sudden the problems arise. And it's not bad. None of it is bad. It's not bad to go shopping. It's not bad to shop at whatever store you choose. If you are not a fan of Amazon, there are other stores out there. Whatever it is, none of those things are wrong. And so instead, what I'm asking is for intentionality. What is the intention behind this purchase? And sometimes maybe the intention is, oh my God, I had a really, really stinky day today, and I just want to stop and pick up some fast food or buy that makeup or, take that trip or whatever it may be. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with spending our money in ways that make us feel good, especially when the feel good is a collective good, right? And so instead, it's all about intentionality. Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? And when we do that, we can let go of the judgment or the shame or the guilt, especially when we're paying those credit card bills or we're paying those bills that we think we shouldn't have had because we shouldn't have spent that money, right? And instead, we can just say, money is neutral, and it's okay, because it's also flowing. And so just like it flowed out of my life over here, it's gonna flow back in, because that is the nature of money. And I can love that. I can be okay with that. Money is just simply a visible indication of the circulation of life. Life is circulation. So I have a question for y'all. Actually, I have a couple of questions. We're going to do a little bit of an extended tell us today, because I'm just curious, right? And I think that this topic is really charged, and I think that we often think that we shouldn't talk about money at church or at our spiritual center, that it's wrong to talk about money in conjunction with spirituality. But like we talked about last week, it's either all God or none of it is, right? And because we believe that it's all God, then money too must be that. It must be God. And so I would love to feel or hear your beliefs, how you feel about money. What's up with you and money? What's up with you and money? So how do you feel when you're handling money, or when you're spending money, or when money's coming in? Do you have this, yes, money, or do you have this, oh my God, I have to go deal with the books again, or I have to balance my checkbook, or I have to go check my bank account, or what is it? What's the underlying feeling? What's in there when you're dealing with money? Yes, Jewel, come on up. And if you're online, put your answers in the chat, and we will read them out loud. And welcome. It's good to see you.
It's great to be here.
No, you can use this one. That's great.
With or without my face thing.
You can take it off if you'd like, just to
Sure.
make it easier to
I'm working through choosing what I spend it on. I spend it very much, retail therapy. And I have been going through my clothes and realizing that half of them I don't really want anyway. And so I'm actually cleaning them out to make room for more prosperity, and not just prosperity with clothing, but just prosperity, period. This isn't for me. Take it to Goodwill, give it to somebody else. But also I really want to travel. So I need to take my focus and go, but that's really where I want to spend it. Now, and so not just throwing it away, not going out to eat as much as I used to, all that stuff. And it's just being more grounded, like you said, really helps a lot.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
Thank you, Jewel. Thank you. And yeah, that intentionality, that's what it's all about, right? There's no right or wrong. It's not right or wrong to have some retail therapy, or to go out to eat, or to go on trips. It's, where do I want my money to go? What's the highest, best intention for myself and for the world with this money? Yes, Terry, come on up.
I have a friend in Seattle, outside Seattle, who's going through a divorce and really needs to find a place to stay. And apparently the housing crunch is terrible. She's looked and looked and looked. And I wanted to pray for her And I realized that before I could do that effectively, I need to get back into my faith that there is the abundance, that there is something perfect for her. And once I know that, then I can pray. And something does seem to be appearing.
Ooh, she got a round of applause for that one. Yes, yes, yes. That faith. And isn't it, I see, hold on. Isn't that a challenge? I know it's a challenge for me. And I always say, I don't need all of the houses. I just need a house. I don't need all of the jobs. I just need a job, right? And it is. And I love that because that's what spiritual mind treatment, our affirmative prayer is treating our own mind to know the truth, to have faith. Thank you, Terry. Okay, I'm ready. Tim. Many years ago, Dr. Raymond Charles Barker, the minister I grew up with, wrote an essay called Money is God in Action. I recommend it. Yes, I have read that article. It is great. Anyone else? What's up with you and money? Okay, well, something else that I want to talk about, and then I'm going to have one more question for y'all, okay? But something else that I want to talk about is tithing. So I talked about my sort of hack for not unconsciously letting money flow out of my life before I'm grounded, right? And I actually use that in a lot of areas. I also have social media turned off before noon. As y'all know, I don't take meetings before 11 because I want to make sure that I'm grounded and ready for my day. And so to me, money is just one indication of whether I'm grounded or not. And so I know if I'm up online shopping first thing in the morning, I'm not grounded. I'm probably also on social media. I'm probably buying something that was on a Facebook ad, right? And so instead, I can be intentional and I can stay grounded. And so once again, it's not, money is neutral. It's simply a tool that I use to see where am I in my spirituality? How grounded am I? And something else that really comes up for me is tithing. So tithing, by definition, is according to biblical standards, and the word tithe is 10%. And this comes up all over in lots of different spiritual and religious traditions. And there are a lot of beliefs around this idea of tithing and giving. And so just breathe. I'm not asking you to tithe to Celebration Center, but I want to talk about this kind of idea because for me, I had a lot of trouble with this idea of spending money on myself. Back in the day, not so much anymore, but back in the day. And so a lot of my shopping and my retail therapy was for my son, right? Because I wanted to give to my son. Not that that was super intentional either, but it was the way that my brain, convoluted everything to make it okay that I was, spending this money. And so finally, I had a practitioner that I worked with who refused to work with you unless you were tithing. She was very clear. You had to tithe 10%. You had to keep a thing of it. It was the first thing you looked at every time you sat down with her. And so my fear of her was greater than my fear of what would happen if I gave away 10% of this money that I already didn't have enough of, right? And what I can tell you is that within 3 months, my income tripled. And all of a sudden, I had this greater flow in my life. Now, I firmly believe in tithing. We are also a tithing community here at Celebration Center. And when I say tithing, I mean a true 10% off the top. Something else I've learned about myself is if I don't tithe in the first 24 hours it comes into my bank account, the fear will kick in and I won't do it at all. And so it is the first thing that I do when I get paid. It is the first thing that I do when extra money comes in, anything like that. And we tithe here at Celebration Center as well, 10%. 5% goes back to Centers for Spiritual Living. 5% goes to various community organizations that are doing good work in the world. We've given to AFAC, Arlington Food Assistance, something, C, community something. We've given to the Haiti Earthquake Fund. We've given to Kentucky with the tornadoes. We've given to the Ukraine. We've done all kinds of things like that, right? And so what I believe about tithing is that knowing that 10% of anything that I bring in is going back into the world to where I am spiritually fed, that is my belief, right? Means that I am constantly in the flow. And it also is what gets me really excited to have money coming in. It doesn't get me super excited. It doesn't. I mean, I like paying my bills. I like having electricity. I like having a beautiful home. I like having food in the fridge, right? All of those things are great. But what really lights me up is to think, what has spiritually fed me this month? Where have I gotten my food? What has really nourished me and grounded me? And then giving to those organizations, those people, whatever it may be. The majority of my tithing comes back here to Celebration Center because y'all, feed me spiritually all the time. I also give to authors of books I read, and not just spiritual books. I've given to authors of science fiction books that just really got my brain thinking, right? I've given to artists who have written songs that I really love. I've given to friends that said that thing that I just really needed to hear. And to me, that light up that I feel when I give my money back, knowing that I was spiritually fed and I'm staying in that flow, to me is the greatest part of being in abundance, of staying in that flow and of generating money. And so tithe, and it's interesting. Have y'all done that plan? Has anybody done that thing where it's like every day you get $1,000 more and you have to spend it all? You write it down. You have to spend it all before the next day, or you lose it, and then it like doubles. So the first day you get 1,000, then 2,000, then 4,000, then 8,000, and you go all the way up to $1 million. No, I have done that. It's a new thought game, right? Where you write down all the things that you would buy, and the thing that I got most excited about was, who did I get to tithe $100,000 to today? What organization would just be blown away by $100,000 just boom, dropped into their bank accounts, right? And so that to me is what tithing is all about. That's the thing that keeps me lit up. It's the thing that keeps me on fire and excited for staying in this flow. And so that's my 2 cents on tithing. I'm not going to tell you to tithe. I do think that giving is a good thing to do in whatever way works for you. And so if you give to where you're spiritually fed, I would invite you to give here. But once again, it's up to you, right? Or give to the organizations that really open your heart. Give to the people that are really supporting you. Give some extra money to your therapist or your practitioner, whatever it may be. Give some money to that person on the street that you saw did this really sweet gesture, or held the door open for you, or tip the bill for your server, where you give 100% tip to your server for their service, right? Whatever it may be, whatever lights you up. So my next question for y'all is, what lights you up about money leaving you? Is it giving to someone? Is it shopping? Is it paying your bills? What is it? What lights you up when money is flowing out? Does that question make sense? Okay. There's no right or wrong answers. Once again, and if you're online, put it in the chat. We would love to hear your answers as well. Yes, Rich.
Well, it's not so much the answer to your question, it's kind of what the topic you're talking about. So a long time ago, I was heavily in debt, and then I discovered New Thought and learned about tithing, and I started to tithe even though it was very difficult at the time, and I quickly got out of debt and haven't looked back since. And there's always enough money to meet all my needs, and I still practiced tithing, and I firmly believe in it.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Rich. Me too. And that tripling my income, I was sold. I've tithed ever since. What lights you up? Or if you have an experience of tithing or giving that you would like to share, that also works. Jewel, come on up.
The last 15 years have been abundant for me, and I'm so grateful. And so what lights me up is giving from a sense of abundance. I've always tried to give, but sometimes it costs me something, and now it just is so joyful to give, to have it to give, to have it to take care of myself, to have it to take care of people I love, to just say, I'll get that, and have it not hurt.
Yeah.
It's really been cool.
Miriam, come on up.
Okay. Listening to everybody made me realize I have a lot of work to do. Okay, so as a teacher, I always hear other teachers saying, I don't get paid enough for this. And I'm trying to connect the amount of care and passion for how much, basically people are connecting the care and passion they put into something with how much they get paid for. And I realize it's very fear-based to think about things that way. So I'm forcing myself, I'm very busy, but I'm forcing myself to do things that bring me a lot of love and passion, without, it's like volunteer, obviously, but without having any kind of money attached to it, because I realize there's a lot of fear with those kinds of ideas. So that's it. Thank you.
Yes, I love that. I love that, Miriam. I have said that. I'm sure I don't get paid enough for this. Not in conjunction with y'all, but back in my caregiving days, right? Anyone else? Oh, Lord, Reverend Lori, in from Colorado. Come on up.
Yeah, stick my 2 bits in on this. Back in the day when I first started going to a Center for Spiritual Living, which was a while back, I, figured, hey, this place is paid for. Somebody's paying for it. I don't know who, but... And then I realized that, well, I could pitch something in, so I'd throw $5 in the basket. It was about the price of a movie. I thought, this morning, this thing is worth about the same as a movie. And it went on from there. And finally, I realized that if people like me are, we're the ones that need to be stepping up and supporting this place, because I cared about it. I cared about the message. I cared about the teaching. I cared about being able to the message getting out more and to more people, because it matters. If the whole world worked this way, the whole world would be it'd be a lot happier place to be in the first place. And at some point I realized, that's not charitable giving. That is a great deal of gratitude, and that gratitude radiating out and affecting more lives. And that's when I realized, I needed to be tithing and also giving where I cared about in addition. And I just thought, we can make a difference in more ways than one, but making sure that these places thrive and have enough to be able to share and open up is just such a good thing. And that's when I made that leap across that transition in from, well, I'm just going to pay for my hour being here, the price of a movie, to really ownership and helping and being one of the people responsible for making sure that this works. So.
Yes, and I love that, Lori, that tithing isn't giving, it's gratitude. It's an indication of our gratitude. I love that. Thank you. All right, we have one online. Tim says, I've also been making myself do things this past year, not just for financial reasons, but to help with the grief. Yes, yes. Yeah, that money and giving is a way that we can support and show our love for those people that we are grieving. Yeah, Jen, come on up.
So, what sparked? Lori said something that sparked me about because giving of yourself is not always money, and that has a huge value. And I think that's the piece that really lights me up is when I give of myself, and I touch somebody, and somebody will come up, after I've done a class or whatever, and want to know more about this philosophy or just it's made them think, or it's opened up their heart or whatever. But that's the piece that really lights me up. I mean, I do give money to all kinds of organizations, and especially the Celebration Center where I'm spiritually fed. But connecting with people and giving of myself, being open and vulnerable, that's really what lights me up.
Yes, yes, yes. The tithing and giving isn't just a monetary thing. That it's yes, come on up, Ed. That it's our time, our talent, and our treasure, and our presence, and our love, and our energy, and our attention, and our passion, and all of those things. Ed, come on up. You want me to hold it for you?
No.
Oh, you got it.
I've just been thinking about, in the area of tithing, a lot of my tithe comes to the Celebration Center here. Mm-hmm. But as we've shrunk in size here, I haven't been giving as much as I did a long time ago. So what I give here doesn't constitute a tithe in the sense of 10%. Mm-hmm. So I give a lot of other money, and I count that as my tithe. I give a couple times, about 3 times a week, I always send a check to some charitable organization or nonprofit that's doing something I like. But none of the things I do that I send checks out for or charge off have human contact in the action. And what I've developed recently is an absolute addiction to driving around every day and finding panhandlers. And I drive up, lower my window down, and hold a dollar bill out to them and have eye contact. And I've done this enough that some of them are regulars. And several of them have gotten to know me, and we've exchanged our names, and they say, "Thank you, Ed," as I go by. But the difference of having a human contact, an eye-to-eye connection when I give, it makes a huge difference for me.
Thank you, Ed. Yeah. That human connection and seeing that, come on up, Richard, seeing that our money is making a difference.
Yeah. For several years now, I've been giving to a couple of different Indian reservations in South Dakota and Montana for the children's schools. And I started doing it around Christmas time because all year round, though, they keep reminding me for more money. But anyway, the thing is, they send me progress reports and what the children are doing, and how they're going. And then I never have to buy Christmas cards anymore, too, because they send me cards in the mail. They send me little notebooks, and stuff. And, I don't know if I ever see them in person, but it makes me feel good, And also I do, try to take care of the veterans organizations, too. I'm a veteran myself. So it's nice to know that I'm thought of, in that respect. I may never see them personally, but they know I'm around, and they may even put my name up, as after I'm passed on or whatever. Right. So, that makes me feel good. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. All right, y'all. So we have to end, but this is obviously a really rich conversation, and it's actually going to lead really beautifully into next week, where we're going to talk about not intentionality, but just how us growing and giving and allowing this flow to move through really is creating a world that works for everyone, and that abundance is for all, right? And that as we give out to these organizations and to these people and all of that, that we're just bringing everybody up together with us, right? So stay tuned. Next week's going to be really good as well, and keep thinking about those stories, because I'm going to ask more, okay? Because it's rich, and I love hearing people's enthusiasm and passion around this topic. And so with all of that, let's pray. And this morning I begin this prayer with gratitude, because I feel it welling up from deep within me, this gratitude for seeing this passion and this energy and this excitement that this beloved community has for giving and for the world and for one another. And it is this passion, this energy, this gratitude that leads me back into the truth of oneness, that raises my awareness of the truth that there is only one thing going on. And so I breathe in the joy, I breathe in the passion, I breathe in the laughter, I breathe in the love, I breathe in the light, I breathe in the peace, the groundedness that comes from this intentional giving, this intentional tithing, this intentional looking out in the world and doing what is ours to do. And I am just so clear that each and every one of us here is in that flow of affluence and abundance and prosperity in every single aspect of our lives. Not only our money, but our health, our time, our talents, our relationships, all of it. That we continue to grow, rooted down and growing up and out in every single way. Abundantly flowing in all areas of life, moving with the flow. And I am so grateful for this beloved community and all of the good work that is being done here. And I simply release my word. I let it go. I know it is done as I have spoken. And so it is. And now we have another song from Lynn.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. Spirit divine, holy, holy, come to me, holy, holy, feeling love, holy, holy, healing me, holy, holy, open my heart, holy, holy, allow me to see, holy, holy, beauty and love, holy, holy, lives in me, holy, holy, you are holy. are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy. Spirit divine, holy, holy. Come to me, holy, holy. Feeling love, holy, holy. Healing me, holy, holy. Open my heart, holy, holy. Allow me to see, holy, holy. Beauty and love, holy, holy. Surrounding me, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. Holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. Spirit divine, holy, holy.
A throwback to all angles from the pandemic, from the pandemic era. So beautiful. Thank you, past all angles. So this is the time in our service for our gifts, our offerings, our time, and our tithes, sorry, and whether you are giving of a tithe or an offering or a donation today, or simply giving your presence, your love, your talents, your food, whatever it is, we are so grateful. Your presence here is a gift. And so if you are joining us online, you can go to celebrationcenter.org and click the give button, or you can scan the QR code, whether you're here in the room or online. Scan the QR code, and that will lead you straight to our Secure Breeze site where you can give. And if you're here in the room, we have our baskets right over here. And now I would like to invite Rich for a offertory affirmation and blessing.
Join me now in saying our offertory affirmation together aloud. This gift I give is God in action. I give it in joy. I give it in love. I give in faith. I give it knowing that I am blessed. And so I gratefully give. Take a nice deep breath, let it out. We now bless all these gifts and tithes that are donated now or coming to the center, as they are given from the Spirit and from love within, as we practice the law of circulation. Money is energy. We express gratitude for this flow of energy of good that is motivated by love and spirit within. These gifts come in and go back out to the community and come back to us multiplied, for good is multiplied. I do give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I am led by spirits. I am guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those are your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on me, sister, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me. Call me if you need a friend. Call me. Oh yeah, just call me if you need a friend. Call me. Oh yeah, just call me if you need a friend. Call me. Oh yeah, just call me if you need a friend. Call me. Call me if you need a friend. Call me. Call me if you need a friend. Call me. Oh yeah, just call me if you need a friend. Call me. Oh yeah, just call me if you need a friend. Call me.
Hello?
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on.
Oh, thank you, Celebration Choir. What a, I love that one so much. Oh, so if you were joining us online, grab your lunch, come on Zoom at 12:30 for our potluck picnic appreciation, potluck picnic, and everyone else, join us, and we're going to grab tables and head downstairs. And with all of that, I bless us. I send us out into the world knowing that each and every one of us are abundantly in the flow. And so it is.